Eight. All about fit too. How's everybody doing? Welcome to the Buccaneer Brief on the Happy People TV Orlando Pirates fan channel. We have a lot to talk about today in this Buccaneer Brief. Orlando Pirates news show. Monnapule Saleng's agent has come out with all of the answers. Could it be the truth? Well, we're gonna have to take the word that has been given to us so far. I am joined by Mr. Coach in this show, and we're gonna go through the quotes of what he said, or what the agent said about his situation that caused so much drama last season. And also we are going to talk about the 11 Orlando Pirates players that have made it to the preliminary squad of the Bafana Bafana for the CAF. Yeah, for the World Cup qualifiers. It's going to be tough. It's a full show for you guys. Go, but don't touch that dial.
It's gonna keep on. That's how keep on umhlaba kamasipala azobhekisa phezulu. It's the Happy People TV. Yango papa.
Bafethu dinsang Mr. Coach dinsang mfethu ke a tseba ko wena motho ditaba dog. How are you doing? How are you feeling about these news?
Well, now first of all, Kiwi number one. So if you're going to ask about my feelings, you must know that Kiwi number one. I'm feeling good. Interesting, man. You know, Mazola Molefe dropped a hint, a snippet, I think it was early yesterday, probably in the morning, about the show premiering at 6 p.m. And, you know, throughout the day, in fact, outside of thinking about the match, I was biting my nails. But I'll say about and click. What is it that she's going to reveal to us? You know, I was a little bit skeptical because you know, these people don't always say what they should be saying, or they don't always tell you the whole story. Sometimes there'll be a whole lot of confidentiality, and yeah, exists, I know, but at least she was able to open up and say some things. And like you said in the intro, it could all just be part of the show, you know. It could be just the story, but I am willing to take it because at least we're hearing something.
It's something, and especially if you compare with Vela Vela, why there was so much him. The him from last season was a bit much, and we never knew who to point the finger at, who to believe and who not to believe. So I thank her and Umazola for coming out. I think we'll throw the link in the description for that actual video. But Mr. Coach, I would like you to take it away. What I'm going to do is that I'm going to just try and go step by step in terms of the way the news broke to us as fans, and then you just give her responses to those. So, yeah, guys, I think the beginning of this whole thing was when Saleng disappeared, and that's when they were saying he's not training, he's not coming to work, and this and that. So what was her response to Saleng's absence?
You know, before I get into that, we have to remember that Saleng's absence did not start last season. I always want to mention this. It started in the previous season. I think there was a 23-24 season where he was just coming off of the back of winning player of the season, and then all of a sudden he had a couple of poor games. I think the first 6 months he had quite a number of poor performances, and Jose, he very clearly believed in him because he would play him through bad form until eventually he dropped him from the squad. And I think it was maybe during the Spain tour or something where he kind of gave a hint out, hopefully Saleng has found himself again, he's himself again, he looks a lot more energetic in terms of even training sessions, and that gave a lot of hope. And I remember in the Spain tour, leading into last season, Saleng was on fire. I remember we just signed Gilberto, and I was kind of looking at, is Gilberto going to be our answer for that? Is he going to cause some competition for Saleng? And Saleng's performances in Spain were just absolutely incredible. So it started off so well. But then after MTN 8, that home I'm fit to the absence, no answers whatsoever. And his agent kind of summed it all up. She didn't exactly refer to that particular period, but she kind of covered them all up. And what she said was that there was a period of time. Now she doesn't clarify this, but she does say that there was a period of time where Saleng was given time off by the club.
Okay.
She mentions that there was a point in his, especially during that period, that his mental fitness was not on the same level as physical fitness, and he was dealing with some things. Doesn't obviously get into that. All she had said, Nakwela here, was that she even took out a post out of this is an employee and employer problem, and she's gonna leave it right there. So yeah, she just cites the fact that he wasn't in the right space of mind, and there was a period where Pirates actually gave him time off to go deal with whatever was bothering him, or yeah, and that came as a complete surprise to me, because which I must give my own apology, you know, assuming everything is true.
Yeah.
Yahore, we didn't know anything, and speculations came about, and we took them and ran. And even I was a little upset at some point in Fetore.
Yep.
You must honor your contract. I know a lot of us Papagania are
No
guilty.
one is bigger than the club. I
Yeah.
remember the running statement was no one is bigger than the club. Yeah.
We're all guilty for that. And although, I mean, it's wrong at the end of the day, but we had nothing to work with. And what she does say, that there was that period, like I'm saying, where he was given time off. But then there's also a time where he was recalled back into the squad.
Okay.
After the time off for Chima. And that was around late last season where we started seeing him trading again. He would be in all those videos. And if you follow the Facebook page of Orlando Pirates, every single post had a comment. It's like a myriad of comments saying, "Where is Saleng?" No matter what the post was about. So that's because we are starting to see clips of him training now. So yeah, that's kind of a little bit of clarity on his absence, at least as to upscore, you know.
I need to hear it from you, Mr. Coach. Are you telling me that there were certain personal, mental issues? What words did she actually use? And I just want to know, it sounds to me, after watching it, that the club actually did what they could, or what they felt like they could, in order to help him out in the situation, in the sense that we all believe that it's man versus club, but it seems like they were actually working together. So how do you feel about that?
It's kind of a relief, man, to be completely honest. You never want any club and to hear hore the club actually did support them. Again, Ichilo agent hore. Everything that happened was by no part Orlando Pirates' fault, and she won't even necessarily blame his condition that he was dealing with. But a lot was happening. Again, she mentions the term mental fitness quite a number of times to show that picture. So it's good to know the club was behind him, trying to help him with whatever issues they were. And yeah, I'm fair to that's a very big positive as far as I'm concerned. And more so than anything, if a little bit of hope, there isn't a relationship that is beyond repair. It's never been a relationship issue.
That's actually where my optimism lies. Haholo. Because I think before we sum it up, let's just take it a little bit step by step. So, right. So we start with the absence. We're seeing the absence. Are you saying at that point in time, the issue was that he was given an off? And obviously, we just made rumors because...
Don't say we.
No, I'm saying we participated in the hymns. I mean, if there was no... What did she actually say about the contract thing? Because it just baffles me that the contract thing really came out of nowhere.
You know, that's all. Her words exactly, and those of you who can see the thumbnail, she clearly stated that it had nothing to do with contracts, nothing to do with not being paid enough, nothing to do with having moves blocked. If anything, according to her, Saleng was very happy at playing at Pirates. She even goes on to mention that not everybody has the same dreams. You know, Mr. Mazola asked about, you know, some players wanting to go to Europe and this, that, and the next thing. And then she's very clear about the fact that not everyone has the same dreams. Saleng's dream was to play for Orlando Pirates.
Saleng's dream, as in he was living the dream.
He was living the dream, and Fetu, he even put on ink on his leg, bro. This is a very clear Orlando Pirates tattoo there. So she used that as a reference. There was never any issues about playing for Orlando Pirates or trying to push for a move or anything like that. He's a man who's always been happy. In fact, she even mentions that there was a bit of a restructuring, not in that word specifically, but there's a little bit of a restructuring contract between himself and Orlando Pirates, with improved terms, if you will, that enabled him to even do other things. And she mentions that even enables him to buy property. So, never any issue.
Enables him to buy property. This is part of the contract.
Not necessarily that it's part of the contract. Okay, look, she could have meant that the contract now allowed him to earn enough to buy his own home, for example. It could be something towards that line, or we don't even know if it's even investment property for all we know. She just literally mentions property. So I'm going to infer from that afford in the first place.
So basically what we're trying to say here is that the club was looking at him and his future. It wasn't a uncertainty in terms of where are you going to play next. He wasn't asking himself, where am I going to go from here? Different dreams. I think that's another thing that's important that you mentioned already. Not everybody has the same ambition. So I think it's very easy for us to just turn around and say, well, he's been scoring goals, he's been the star, he either wants more money or he wants to go overseas. So cool. I think let's move on to the next thing now. Let's talk about that Ahly game. So how did she quiet the rumors, or how did she debunk that issue?
She just says nothing could have been further than the truth in terms of Saleng playing against Ahly after a long period of absence in an attempt to sort of trial and showcase that his ability is still there. According to her, Saleng never wanted to play for Ahly, never had any intentions of leaving the club again. Really goes back to the thing, Diamond Pagania.
Okay, cool.
He's at home, Pirates, so he never actually had any interest in leaving. And even journalists in Egypt, again, the super journalist one that mentions this, journalists in Egypt said there were never any offers from Ahly. Now, obviously, we can't know this for sure, because she does mention that she is still bound by confidentiality, right? She can't reveal everything. But Ahly he never wanted to go there in the first place.
Yeah, when they talk about propaganda, media, what, you never want to be the guy who's falling for the story that's just a story to get clicks. So I think this exercise is actually dope for us to basically know that, what, guys, as much as there could be rumors and scandals and all of that stuff, the more people keep quiet is the more you should not listen to the other sources unless they are super credible. Let's think back. How many credible sources do you feel like said things that that could have been the truth, only for now to find out from the agent, according to the agent, which we have to take as gospel right now? How many credible sources do you feel like basically did us dirty?
I believe that's a good question, because no honalebo piratoy, and if you know me, I always tell you, if it's coming from piratoy, it's just nice for conversation. It's nothing to take seriously, with all due respect. But Mickey Jr., I think we also even saw throughout the transfer window the stories that were coming from him in terms of Orlando Pirates signings. A lot of them came to fruition. He was one of the first ones who said Saleng had a blocked move. He is not happy. Things along those lines, right? Now, when he said that, it was enough for me to be like, whoa.
Yeah.
We have a problem here, right? This is something that you must take with a level of seriousness,
Mm-hmm.
followed by Robert Marawa's threat, because it kind of was a
What
threat,
do
bro.
we even call that, bro?
Bro, it really was a threat, that one, and he later on did come out to say that the chap is not happy. His words and
Bro, that's awesome, bro. Gaslighting on 100, dog.
life of it. You know, especially with him, it kind of felt like and seemed like it was a gun to Pirates' head. Like, you speak now, or I want to reveal everything. And
That's exactly how he put it. Yeah.
sure. So yeah, it was kind of funny, but yeah, those two sources for me were really enough to give me a hint, honestly, for me to start thinking where there's a smoke, there's a fire. But you know, hindsight is 2020, right?
Mm-hmm.
If there's one thing, Mazola Molefe is one of my favorite journalists, probably my favorite journalist. Very, very rarely gets things wrong. And now,
Shout out to him.
yeah, super journal Fetu. I always say they don't call him super journal for nothing. I can't even think of a time when he got something wrong. Because even when there was all that Rulani Mukwena thing, and then he comes out after Coach Wadu's release, and he's like, yeah, there was never Rulani talks, by the way. I don't know where you got that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I mentioned this because Mazola Molefe, up until the Orbit College thing, which he broke,
Yes.
nothing, absolutely nothing about Saleng. Now, I know he's a different kind of journalist in the sense that onale moral compass nyana ya hore,
Yeah.
if he's not sure,
Yep.
kampana thole,
Yes.
which he exercised that very well. So it could have been maybe he heard something here and there, but nothing that he could verify. But Oksalayo, he never ever came out with any news whatsoever. He just kept quiet up until the Orbit College thing, and I think 48 hours from when he said that Saleng moved to Orbit College.
Okay, so I think that's a nice way to show the difference between information that hurts us and information that's for information purposes. So this comment that I'm seeing here, Danko, hey, it's all about faith too. Please, on your way in, don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and share. Namapagania. This one is, I feel like it's a hot topic, but I don't want to say hot topic. I don't want to sound like the people who are spreading these.
You can
these
say his
things.
name.
I don't want to gaslight. I don't want to gaslight. So here he is over here. All about faith. I watched the interview, and it broke my heart after finally hearing the other side of the story. I pray my player forgives me for wishing him
You and me both, bitch.
out of my misinformation. No, that's a comment and a half, bro. That's a comment and a half. Because it's literally going, thank you for the comment, and the jungle. Yeah, I mean, the biggest issue here now is that thing you would see so much misinformation. People that you feel like are credible. Meanwhile, meanwhile, our player is having a hard time where he is, man. Mental issues are some of the most difficult to solve. You can't just buy your way out of it. You can't just, it's one of those things that it's support. And I remember when we were kind of talking about this, that, you know what, if we knew the truth, bro, I mean, we would have treated the situation so in a much, much more mature manner. Mr. Coach, I don't know how you feel about that, but I feel like, Jungle's comment. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling Jungle's comment because I feel like, I'm in the wrong and I am also to be blamed. So we need to find the right place to point this finger, Mr. Coach. So
Really want to double down on Jungle's comment. Thank you very much. We must be able to apologize. I'll speak for myself particularly because we didn't speak. I think time is so difficult because there was a long period, I think about 3 or 4 months up until my April, where we were also quiet, not saying too much. Obviously, we would just discuss what's going around, but we didn't express any opinions. And there was a Bucs chat live as well as a Pagania brief that came out where I specifically said, "Hore, I have had enough frustration that gotten the better of me." And I was like,
yeah,
yep. He has to honor his contract. He needs, now granted, I used if a lot of times. I always said, if this is true,
Yeah.
hearts are my type of thing, right? But I said it nonetheless. And something his agent mentioned that was very important is that to us, they're footballers.
Yep.
They're these people we idolize and look to. All we see when we see them, we see the badge of
Yeah.
our club. But they are also human beings. They are people, they go through things, they go through grief for whatever reason, they go through difficulties, a lot more pressure than we do. I can walk into the mall right now and nobody will recognize me. And even if they do, no one's going to stop me and say, Mr. Coach. There was a period where Saleng probably couldn't even leave his house.
You know?
Because of that thing. And that's why I'm saying I sincerely apologize for my part in that, misinformation, sure, but at the end of the day, it's a learning experience for me as a supporter. Now, I'll always call out things I don't agree with.
Yep.
But at least it gives me that, I'll say maybe wisdom to address it better.
Yes.
And maybe wait for the right information. Because again, hindsight is 2020, bro. If you think about the Giants documentary, the fact that Saleng actually appears there himself and speaks kind of gives you a hint. He doesn't say much. He just, because they do ask him what was going on during that period, and he's like, yo, it was a buy, it was a buy were happening during that time. Granted that came after Serum Kansate type of thing, if you will. But
public opinion courts.
Yeah. So it does give you a hint, you know what, maybe we were misinformed and it is a matter. Between him and the club, it's not what we thought it was, type of thing. So it's murky waters, to be completely honest. But yeah, it really helps. I will still say though, now I understand that a lot of it was to protect the player, protect him and keep him away from whatever the issue is, protect maybe even the club to an extent. But I will still say what I said back then. Say something.
I was about to touch on that. Like, the thing is with mental issues, né? If you are currently dealing with them and they are currently courting you, one of the hardest things to do is actually admit. So I don't know if the agent actually made it clear whether he was the one who came forward, or if they saw him in training, or do you have an answer for that one, or was it just one of those things where everybody can see? And
I think it happened over time. Because I'll go back to the Giants documentary, that famous thing that we all know now, that Saleng, are you okay? Okay, out, that whole thing. Saleng was shoulders dropped at the time. And this is during a match, bro. This is halftime. So that is another hint, or maybe it happened over time. Jose, even before that whole Giant documentary, kind of did hint towards it, but we know Jose, you couldn't beat information out of him, so he never really gave us the whole story. So it seems like it culminated over time until eventually it was messing with his work. And I think the club were aware, which is why they probably granted him that time off to try sort himself out. And I mean, till this day, we don't know what the issue is. It could be mental. It could be something that he was experiencing at home. We really have no idea.
Yeah. I think the best way to summarize it is to say pass on that.
Thank you. I agree 100%. And that is why I will say, if you remember, even back then, I wasn't saying Saleng was saying something. I was looking at my club and saying, management, we care about this club as much as you do, maybe even more as supporters. I'm not saying give us his medical bill.
Sure.
Just put us at ease and say that the player has been you don't even have to give a reason. The player has been excused.
Yes, sir.
And you will be updated later.
Something like that. I mean, that's why there's a piece of me. You know what? I think today's show is about us humbling ourselves as fans, admitting that, hey, sometimes we just catch on to stories, and apologizing to him, especially if he is going through something personal. But the silence, Mr. Coach, and not just the silence, but allowing all the fake news. Remember when Mofokeng was linked with a move? I think they just said, I think it was a Dutch club or a British club, Eindhoven. And it was linked there, and then immediately,
Sure.
maybe they were learning from the Saleng thing, I'm not sure, but immediately on the Orlando Pirates website, all their social medias, they're like, hey, don't listen to those news, it's fake news. Who said anything about that, about Mofokeng leaving after that?
You make a very valid point. A very valid point.
So
But even during the Saleng thing, all they did was to respond and say that no, I think they said no offer. If I remember correctly, I think they rubbished the Ahly offer. But Al Ahly never offered anything for Monnapule Saleng. No, Pirates have not received such an offer. And then they moved on.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. That doesn't really help. Because all it tells you is that that specific offer didn't come. But since you're completely silent, you even question the Rabarchut.
You find it as a clue to go investigate, to go put on the tinfoil hat for more conspiracies. So yeah, you know, the thing is, with Pirates, Asian Future, this club has been around for much longer than us, and they know how they are moving and they know what they're doing. It's just that sometimes, come on, you know, I don't want to be that guy that makes him feel worse.
Here's my thing. I don't think those rumors exist if Pirates come out ahead of it and say the player has been excused.
Very much.
Now we're gonna guess and, you know, suck our thumbs and ask ourselves why he's been excused.
But it will be amongst us and not, hey, utlwile Robert Marawa we saying, hey,
Why won?
nah, hey, Latuma, it's what, and then now, you know, yeah. So it's, I feel like I'm in a weird position. I feel like I am a perpetrator and a victim at the same time. Yeah, dog. Okay. Thank you very much for being with us, Jungle King. He comes through and he says, "Thank you, coach, for that take, but also that silence from all parties became betrayal on another level." Are you saying that us as fans
We're betrayed.
were betrayed? Because I mean, as fans and let me just keep it on the screen for a while. As fans, dog, we are not going to the stadium mahala. There's Gazol. There's the ticket itself, there's food, and there's everything. So when you use the word betrayal there, Jungle King, I understand what you're saying, because it feels like, how? Yesterday I was supporting a club like this. Today I'm supporting a whole different club. And like, what am I supporting? And I think also he's probably saying that, I don't know, what do you think, Jungle? Do you think Saleng himself was also betrayed? Do you think is there anything from the interview that basically tells us who said
Not per se. Now credit goes to her agent, his agent as well. She does say that, you know, because Mazwala Mutis as well, and she does say, you know what, maybe we could have handled it better as well, from our side, in terms of saying something. Again, she does maintain, and I agree with her, it's never her place to divulge into whatever personal issues are going on between club and player, or to even player alone. But to completely keep quiet is the problem.
While the fake news is, yeah, I know, it's a lot. So after Al Ahly, I think we're moving on to the latter part now of the interview. This is where the hope comes, Mapagane. The good news are on their way. There is good news. Just stick with us. Stick to the end of this segment, and I think we can start dreaming again. Mr. Coach, can you just remind me what the poll question is? I don't have it in front of me.
Should Pirates take Saleng back?
Yes, should Pirates take Saleng back? But I also want to know from you guys that are watching, whether it's live or not, would you take him back after all of this with open arms? Do you take this story as truthful as we should? Do we take it at face value, or do we still have some questions? You know, because somebody could always say, "I was going through something personal," but then there are things around that personal issue that you also look at to see, okay, maybe you went through something personal. What if something like this happens again? Does it mean you won't come back? training? How do I look at you going into the future? So I want to know from everybody, also from you, Mr. Coach, whether you would take him back. And yeah, we'll discuss whether Pirates should take him back. So he goes to Orbit, and she had a very good way of explaining why he actually went on loan to Orbit, whereas we saw it as if they said, hey, when I go back to where you came from,
Not selling you to our rivals.
we're not selling you to our rivals. Go somewhere where they'll accept you. And you still have a contract here, and yeah, we won't pay for you to sit on the bench. So let's talk about the Orbit move.
Now, with all this clarity, and you look at the Orbit move, now there's so much more positivity about that. She mentions her relationship, Saleng and Coach Pogiso is not just player and coach. It's a father-son relationship. And she even goes on to, there was those things that Coach Pogiso said about Saleng, he hasn't been giving them much on Sportsnet with Andile, and she goes on about how he went on about how the team actually haven't been looking good with Saleng and so on and so forth, and not those exact words, but that was the idea. And she actually goes and says, well, if there's anybody who actually has a right to say that, it's his father. And that's his father in football. If anybody can criticize you, I can criticize my mom, but you say something about my mom is a completely different thing. We're going to fight. Right? So it's the same.
That's some dope insight, though. That's some really good insight, because we are victims now. What are they saying about him? Oh, I guess he's going even more. He had to be the problem. It wasn't the club.
Yeah, and she says it was very important that he went to Orbit specifically because that is the person who groomed him. The Saleng that we grew to know and love so much at Orlando Pirates. Coach Pogiso had a lot to do with, so he was sent to that environment to kind of revive his career, and get back to the right kind of fitness, come back to be the breadwinner. Because there's one thing that we must always acknowledge that I feel is important, is that we weren't pulling our hair just because an Orlando Pirates player was absent.
Yes.
It was because our breadwinner was absent. Not just anybody, somebody who was probably at some point one of our most important
MVP,
players, if not the most important player. Exactly.
Yeah.
I know I had dreams for him, Bafana Bafana, for example. So him going back to the environment is about bringing him back into his prime again. I mean, he's still at the prime age physically. He can still find that form. And it's so nice that this happens on the back of a man of the match performance where he had an assist as well. Where I'm kind of thinking now, well, the age-old saying at this, we know what he can do.
Yes.
So
we know what he's capable of.
If he can show us that he can do that still, that's a big asset, bro. Another reason why it hurt so much, that whole ordeal, was that I could not bear to see Saleng in another jersey, bro.
This Saleng,
I was not ready for it.
We needed to see him get old or something, but not after that MTN8, bro. Come on.
No.
I was like, okay, so now you win one trophy, and now you're the king of MTN8, and now you want to go to Africa and beyond without finishing your contract. So yeah, I do understand. What words did she use in terms of his prospects, in terms of coming back? Is it up to the club? Is it up to him?
She doesn't actually get into that. She says that at the moment, Saleng's not looking for a move away from Pirates.
Yeah.
Maybe at a later stage. Maybe.
Okay.
But at this current point in time, he's not somebody who's trying to look for a way out of Paganea. So, it doesn't seem like somebody could go. And I think even from management, I mean, Orlando Pirates and Fetu, with our history, now we loan out players.
Yes.
That's looking for a contract.
It's not just to get you off of the books.
No.
It's for a reason when they send you out on loan. We thought this would have been one of those, we can't just leave him on the bench like I was saying earlier.
Yeah.
So that is so refreshing. I find so much peace from the fact that now we can, guys, Mapaganea, we can start watching Obi for the
yes.
right reasons now. We can start re-scouting.
True.
We can start re-scouting. Now Saleng. I just wanted to just show this picture of him smiling, man. When last did you see that smile, dog? I can't wait to see. Abdi Monnapule, you have the happy people's full support. Play your legs off, please. We want to see the best of the best. Thank you for that assist. I wanted to go through the stats, but I think that'll just be too much. He has an assist. He has a man of the match. And I think, you know how you get coaches like Jose Mourinho that like to motivate players by slagging them off in public. And one comment, negative, another match performance next game. He wasn't even getting game time. So I also want to give a shout out to, what's his name again?
Coach Bucs.
I want to give a shout out to him because he might be the key to bringing Saleng back. And as much as you might think we've got a nicely assembled squad and stacked and everything and all of those nice terms, you can't ever say that you don't need Saleng that already has a contract. So yeah.
Compared to an informed Saleng, top 3, in fact, it would cost us a violate. An informed Saleng, probably top 2 right wings in the country, and I won't even take any arguments there. I think the summary is like this, ladies and gentlemen. Monnapule Saleng, if it was up to him, he would be at training right now. Well, it's a holiday now, but he would be in the next training session for Orlando Pirates. They take away that thought. There is no such thing as a contract dispute. According to his agent, the man had some personal issues. The club failed to brief us, to tell the fans what's going on. They allowed the fake news to run the internet. They allowed us to slag him off. We never want to say anything bad about our players and also question our club at the same time. Then the Ahly thing, also just rumors. I think it was just an opportunity for him to maybe get motivated. I think by once in that show, in the Giants show, that they were trying to get him to come play, but he just wasn't there mentally. He is still available for us to get him back from loan. This is not exile. It's a literal loan for him to get back on form. And for a player of that age who has played that many seasons already, for the club to still have faith in him and not even just throw him away on loan, to take him to a place where they feel like he can actually fix the actual issue, because it's not a footballing issue, it's a mental issue that affects the football. So, I feel like most parties here tried their best. I don't know how you feel, Mr. Coach, but I feel like the club is looking like they really have his best interests at heart. Definitely not the fans and the fans' opinions. I think that's how we summarize it. Is there anything I left out? No. I really pray, man, that was not just the publicity. What was that interview? I need all of that to be true, and
sin of it to be true, Mr. Coach. You're right, yeah?
Yeah, because, I think you summed it up pretty well, man. More important, like you say in Fetu, if not the whole Orlando Pirates, the Hip People TV is fully behind him.
Yes.
And Mapagani, I think it's important to also show him some love in the street, bro. It's such small things, man. When you run into him, type of thing. So, yeah, man. We only wish the best for him. We hope he can maintain the form that he's. I mean, it's one game, but he can maintain that kind of form.
Yep.
And we have a CAF Champions League that we're busy with, so we could always use him.
I mean, you know what, ne? For the situation to carry on for as long as it did last season, I feel like we need a full season. Just playing his football, working on his game.
No pressure.
Yeah, no pressure. Just back to the Saleng we know. So we're gonna move on to the next story. If we do not get any more comments, I see there is one more comment here by Tabiso. Tanko Tabiso. He says, guys, we need Saleng back. We need Saleng back. He is our player after all. Let us support him. Period. Unconditional support your player with the club's backing and the I don't need you to back him. With the club's backing and also, with him also being motivated and whatever. I want our best to do their best and to be available in Fetu. I mean, I'll just touch on quickly this situation. Mbule. I mean, how many clubs do you think could have revived Mbule's career like that between the big three?
Not our neighbors.
I feel like we have a special touch with these kinds of players.
And he's not the first, bro.
Yeah.
He's not the first. Even there was a time when we gave Chapupule a chance after all the stories coming back from overseas after his issues.
Yeah.
And we still were the ones who gave him a chance, and he had a pretty decent season. So, Fetu, environment, grand.
Yeah.
The environment is sharp, those kind of things. So, yeah, we.
Okay, cool. No. And I can understand Mr. Kochu. No, all the best, Saleng. I wish it is all true. It is all true. Coach. It's all true. All true.
Amen.
Okay, let's move on to I call it the Paganification of the national team.
Operation 10 Bafana Bafana and Orlando Pirates.
Yeah,
Sure.
I like to say Sundowns got us a bit of the way. Thank you, Hugo Bros, for experimenting with this whole thing of picking players from the best team in the country. It has worked. Now you just need to do it with the right team. The right team. You can only get so far with Sundowns and Fetu. So many foreign players. We have the homegrown talent in abundance, and here it is in Fetu. If I have to go through the Orlando Pirates players, I'm just going to zoom in so that it's even better visible. Let's go through the Pirates players that did make it to the squad. Yeah, sharp. Okay, so we have Mbule, Ahopa. We have okay, let me just see. We have Moremi, we have Mofokeng, and then we have Bodlelas BC. I think that's a good one. Keep in mind, guys, this is the preliminary squads. It's not the final squad for the World Cup qualifiers. Those two last games, those are important games. We have Mbata there. We also have Sibilibili, Apollos, Ito, which is really, really dope. We have TLB Mbogazi. they even remember him in Nigeria. We have a traitor over here. I don't want to say his name, but he got where he is. Yeah, it's Munyane. He got where he is because of us. And we have Mr. Sipo Chain. Mr. Coach, do you have any comments about how these selections were? And do you feel like there's anybody here that should be more focusing on the Paganea job and maybe doesn't need to? I can only say Tito. I feel like Tito needs to relax and have less pressure right now. Just play 20 minutes. I don't know if he's going to make it to the final squad, but yeah, how do you feel about this?
I'll tell you what makes me really happy, bro. No matter how you slice it, the number 10 that starts is going to be an Orlando Pirates player. It's up to Hugo Bruce to decide which one he takes between Mbule and Tito and Mofokeng. You go to the left hand side, you've got Mofokeng, you've got Oswald Napolis. The other ones, I don't think it's even worth mentioning them. There'll be a Pagania starting there.
Yes.
On the right hand side, it'll be interesting for me to see because I know Unalti Techahandra, who has had a really great run of form. I mean, his chairman even went out to say that he's the best winger in the country.
Oh, yeah?
But on the other side, we've got Spilibili. We've got Mremu Hugo plays him on the right hand side. I was actually going to count him on the right hand side. So it's likely to be Nkota who starts. Pagania Lelo, by the way.
So
It's Bilibili as well as Ntwingena. Yeah, I guess Bilibili Nkota, Moremi. No matter how you look at it, I think you're likely to have a Pagania starting. So the way I see it, it's I think minimum 7, but I'm thinking more like 8 players are going to come from Scotland.
Can I
Out
just
of
have a
23.
little bit of banter?
Sure.
She leaves the squad because of injury. Is replaced by a Paganea. I'm looking here and I'm looking for one Tapelo Morena.
I don't think he's
Here he is. But then there was the other winger from Sundowns.
Masego.
Masego, is he here?
No. Masego hasn't been playing enough football.
Replaced by Paganea. I mean, I think he has always been there. Apollos has always been there. Stays. I think even when he was dropping form last season, it was not so certain. I don't know if he missed a couple of match days.
Hugo Bruce, he was missing them elsewhere, Mara. Hugo Bruce has always had his full backing, and I am so grateful. I don't know if I would have ever known Apollos Mnates or Aneska coach either. So
I'm looking here for a certain defender. I used to call him one of the best in the country. I'm not finding him. Grant Kekana. He was replaced by TLP. This washing and drying and tumble drying is happening, Buffy. I just want to give a round of applause and just say congratulations and a big up to the players that continue to make it to this Bafana Bafana squad. We've got big games coming up, and I'm starting to get that Bayern Munich feeling.
Yep.
So anything else you want to say about that?
I was gonna add the Ayas Tole.
Yeah.
Used to start next to Mukwena, picked up an injury. Lo and behold, the Parania Mbata comes in and feels it like, don't worry. I got you. So it is dope. I mean, congratulations obviously to all the players from all the other clubs as well. Who are in the preliminary squad. It's obviously going to be cut down significantly down to 23 men. But again, no matter how you slice it, I think we'll still have the lion's share as Amapaganea, and I want to give them a shout out. Shout out to Mremi. He wasn't in the previous preliminary squad at all. I think, especially on the back of the last few performances, he might even become part of the final selection, which would be great to see. Otherwise, man, proud of the boys. Lema Khopa as well wasn't part of the last squad. He might make this one. I'll pray someday that Mabasa gets his day in the national team again, but I trust the coach at the end of the day. I back Hugo Bruce. He's proven himself over time, so I trust his judgment, but I think it would be nice to have Mabasa in the national team. But hey, let him do his job.
Away. Well.
One more thing, sorry.
Yes, sir.
Siema's coming. Mofeng na kwelebona Siema wazwakala rally na.
For Bafana Bafana, man. 100% excited. The Paganification is here.
Can I ask you a question? I'm sorry.
Yes, please.
It's the same topic.
Yeah.
At what point does Sipo Chain get to start over Ronan Williams? I know Williams. Just give a little context. I know Williams is our captain. Very important player. He's our leader. He leads from the back. But at what point does Chain also get credit for being able to do something similar, if not the same?
I remember in 2010 World Cup, both Kune and Josephs played. They both got a chance. I think when it comes to goalkeepers and building out from the back, you try to keep your keeper for as long as the defenders and everybody is confident. It's all about confidence. So Kane will get a chance once Bruce loses confidence and the defense loses confidence in Williams. And he's the captain, man. So he's gonna have to take himself out of the squad. I don't know, but the age difference, what is it, 2-3 years?
No. Williams is a couple of years over 30. Chain, I think, is 27, if not 28.
Yeah, 3-4 years maximum. Okay.
I think it could be more, but sure.
Could be more. Okay. There's another one. There's another clue of when I think Chain will be official number one. But I would like to see a game in a knockout game where
It goes to penalties
and he gets subbed in at the 119th minute. But Mr. Coach, I really like doing this Buccaneer brief. It has been a while. Thank you everybody who did come through and participate. Shout out to Jungle King. Shout out to Tabi. So we'll be trying to do these at least 3 times in a week. That's to get the groove going. And so, but we will try not to just take a story and run with it and hurt players' feelings unintentionally. Buffet 2, please don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, so you can be notified for the next drop. And share so we can grow the community. Go!
Hayi isigama kepula sakepula umhlaba kamasipala sewubhekisa phezulu. It's the Happy People TV. Yankopo Buccaneer.